What's going on, everyone, and welcome back to another video on the channel. And today we'll be going through my week 1 finals predictions for the season. Now obviously I'll be doing a separate video to my finals predictions overall. This week will just be my weekly predictions for the week 1 of finals, so the qualifying and the elims. And then later on this week, probably either Tuesday or Wednesday, I'll be going through my total overall finals predictions that I'm sure everyone else will be doing this year. So yeah, as usual, we'll go through my results for last round, round 23, and then I'll go through my big calls to see how many I got correct. So I tipped 6 out of 9 for round 23. Probably could have done a little bit better considering there weren't too many upsets. I did tip the Dogs to beat the Power, got that one incorrect. I tipped Hawthorn to beat Richmond. It ended up being a draw, one of the most dramatic finishes to a game all season. In fact, there were a few crazy finishes in total this round. I tipped Sydney to beat Gold Coast, Brisbane to beat West Coast, Geelong to beat Melbourne. Melbourne came back from 45 points down at one stage. I tipped Giants to beat Carlton, Saints to beat Freo, Collingwood to beat Essendon, and Adelaide to beat North. So 6 out of 9, could have done a little bit better. And the big calls, I don't really want to go over them, because I've got them all pretty much incorrect. A few ones I want to point out, though, that I got really close on. Sydney v Gold Coast, I said that there'd be 22 or more goals scored for the Swans. They scored 21. Geelong v Melbourne, I predicted James would have 35 or more in the whole game, and he didn't even have a touch in the last quarter. Saints v Freo as well, predicted the Saints have the last 2 goals of the game, and they only kicked the last goal of the game. I'm pretty sure they kicked 7 goals straight in that last quarter, one of the greatest quarters I've seen in a while for the Saints. But overall, the big calls, I didn't even get a single one correct. So yeah, I guess we'll quickly have a look to see what the punishment for last week was. Then for this week, it'll be the last round of big calls, considering that we're getting into the finals. So only one required correct for me to avoid the punishments. I'll have a look at what we got to do, and the one with the most likes is Geordie. However, I want to give it to you cats, considering that it's something I can actually do during the COVID season. Because we're in COVID, I don't think I'm going to be able to go to Southland anytime soon. So his comment was, buy $50 worth of Cooper Gresh merch and wear it in the video by the end of the season. Fine, I'll do it. We'll go on the website, we'll have a look at Cooper Gresh, we'll order some merch then. I don't want to do it, but I mean, it'll be funny for the video. So yeah, let's get straight into the tips for the week 1 finals predictions. Alright, so the first game of the finals, we have Port Adelaide taking on Geelong Friday night at the Adelaide Oval. It's a little bit strange considering that these games are being played at the end of August. Usually the finals start in September, but the pre-finals bye got scrapped for whatever reason. I think something to do with COVID. So we're right into the finals. So Port v Geelong, the Power last week got a massive win against the Dogs to claim a top 2 spot to give them the home finals, whilst the Cats, they could have became minor premiers if they would have won that against the D's, and they really should have. 45 points. They sort of just dropped off at the end of the game. The D's wanted it more. They got the goal from Maxi Gawn after the siren. So this will be a big game. I mean, the Power, they haven't performed amazing against the top 4 sides, but they just keep getting it done. They've got the equal most wins of any side this season, along with the D's. They just keep beating the sides below them, and that's why they've gotten themselves into a top 2 position. I feel like on paper the Cats are a slightly better outfit, but Tom Stewart's out. That could be costly, and in front of a half-filled Adelaide Oval, I reckon it'd be quite tough, to be completely honest, for the Cats to get the job done. I don't really back in the Power too often. I feel like I'm probably undervalue them a little bit. They're a lot better side than what a lot of people give credit for. If they're finishing top 2, then they're obviously a quality side. Cats usually bottle it during finals as well, but you would think that they would learn their lesson, especially after last year, considering that the 2 teams played each other at Adelaide Oval. The Power got the job done, and in this game, I'm going to go the same result. I'm going to go the Power again. I reckon that the Power at Adelaide Oval will get the job done, and I'm going to tip the Power to win this one by 8 points. and I'll tip them to move on to the preliminary finals, whilst the Cats progress to the semis. And the next game, we've got the elimination final between the Swans and the Giants. Who would have thought the Giants would find a way to sneak in the finals, considering their up and down season they've been in? And the Swans, I feel like they're a lot better side than a 6th placed outfit. I mean, last week they completely smashed the Suns to the tune of 86 points, I'm pretty sure it was. Franklin kicked 6. He's now on 992. He's just edging closer to the 1,000 goals. And the Giants, they had to get the win against the Blues to cement a final spot, and they got the job done. Both sides are in some pretty good form, especially the Giants. 3 wins on the trot, against the Cats, the Lions, and the Blues. And the Swans, they're also in some pretty good form. I think they've only lost the 1 game since that win against the Dogs. I don't know if I can trust the Giants. I mean, obviously in 2019, they finished 6th. They finished in a similar position and advanced to the granny, but I think the Swans could be a dark horse in the finals this year. I could see him potentially making it to the prelims or the granny. I don't see him losing against the Giants. Earlier this year, the Swans got the better of the 2 sides. I think, if anything, the Swans will get a comfortable win. They can, if they play at their best, the Swans, they can rip teams apart. And I have a feeling that the Swans might get the job done here comfortably against the Giants. I'm going to tip the Swans to win this one by 30 points. And they move on to the semi-finals. Next game, we've got Melbourne taking on Brisbane at the Adelaide Oval. Saturday night footy, this will be another massive game. The D's, both sides really shouldn't be in the position that they are in. The Lions are very lucky to find a way to finish top 4 after where they were 3 weeks ago. They had 3 massive wins, and the Dogs had 3 massive losses to, for whatever reason, give the Lions a top 4 spot. It's just crazy. And the D's, that win against the Cats, I mean, what can I say? It was one of the best wins I've seen in recent memory. Caden was up and about on his stream. This should be a really good game. I can't remember the last time the D's have locked in a home qualifying final. It would have to be, a long time ago. The Lions obviously have the experience in the final. Yeah, there's no real home ground advantage. I guess you could say that the D's play all right at Adelaide Oval. They beat the Power there, but yet again, they did lose to Adelaide there, so I don't really know if any teams have the home ground advantage. It's obviously at a neutral ground. And earlier this season, the D's did actually beat the Lions in a really good win when both sides were at peak form. I think the Lions were coming off the back of 6 or so wins. So, the D's have got the better of the 2 sides this year, but I have a feeling the Lions have a little bit more experience in the finals. The D's, they've got a young group. Are they going to perform in the big stage, or are they going to potentially bottle it? I've got to tip a bit of an upset. I'm going to tip the Lions by 1 point. It's going to be an absolute thriller and advance to the prelims, and the D's are knocked out and move into the semi-finals. So, the next game, the last game, going to be a bit quick, obviously, because there are 4 games this round. We've got another game that's going to be played in Tasmania. I forgot to mention Swans v Giants going to be played at UTAS. I don't know why there are 2 finals games. And on the graphic, I put Blundstone, but just pretend it's UTAS, obviously. We've got the Dogs facing the Bombers. This is the first Sunday finals game since 2015 between the Tigers and the Roos. So, this is going to be a big game as well. The Dogs are in some pretty crap form. They've lost their last 3 against some average sides as well. I mean, the Bombers, the Hawks, and the Power. I guess you could say, the Bombers are all right since they are facing in the finals, and they're coming off some pretty big wins. They smashed the Pies, they smashed the Suns, they beat the Dogs, and they've just scraped their way into the finals after, messing things up against the Giants the week before. So, can you imagine this one if the Dogs go out straight away in finals? Obviously, it's hard to tip the Bombers in the finals. The last time they won a final was in 2004, and obviously the Dogs in their last 2 finals outings lost to the Saints and the Giants, but we all know that they did win the flag in 2016. So it's going to be fairly tough. Obviously, a few weeks ago, the Bombers beat the Dogs, so they obviously know how to play well against the Dogs. But you'd think in finals, the good Bulldogs turn up. The side that we all thought could have been minor premiers. I tipped this side to win the flag 3 weeks ago, but now, it's almost tough to see them winning any game. But I reckon they'll stand up, they'll get a job done, they'll get a win against an informed Bombers, but it'll be a really good game. I reckon it'll be quite high scoring as well. We're going to go the Dogs to win this game by 12 points. Now, quickly before we do wrap things up, I'll go over my tipping comp, and it's quite close. There are only 9 games to go, obviously, in the finals, and it is quite congested in the top 10. Really only 10 people that can win it from here. Geordie Sco in the lead with 139. Harry Sinnott with 138. Baz and Yeedis and Peterson all with 138. We've got Paradox 15. Suresh for Eagles 14A stock, the Black Flash, Christian 215642, and Bomber something with 137. So it's a tight contest for the prize money, which is going to be $100. I did forget about that. After my 6, I've dropped down a bit. I'm now 97 out of 857. So we had a lot of people join the tipping comp, almost 1,000. So hopefully next year we can maybe crack the 4 digits, just like Franklin could in the final series, or New South Wales could potentially crack the 1,000 mark in terms of daily cases. So yeah, thank you guys all for watching this video. As I said before, finals predictions will be out later this week, Tuesday or Wednesday. We'll see what I'm doing then. I'll try and get a couple more videos out throughout the week, and my live stream will be the Friday night game between Port and Geelong, so stay tuned for that. Make sure you're there, and I appreciate all the support for the video. Thanks for watching. Comment down your last big call for the round, for the year, because after tonight, after this week, there won't be any more big calls, and we'll be putting it on hold. However, I'll be trying to do the big calls that I haven't been able to do in previous weeks when COVID lockdown ends throughout the season. So I expect a few videos on that as well. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys soon in my next one.